Hello. It is time for another calm and collected review of a modern battleship in World of Warships. And we're looking at the St. Vincent. Oh, where do we start with the St. Vincent, man? The St. Vincent is like the epitome of brain damage. Honestly, I would argue like more brain damage than even some of the other boats we've looked at, like Laurie and some of these. It of course combines um, all of the features of modern battleship design of World Warships. Feature number one, the AP cannot shit on battleship players who bought out. It can only shit on cruiser players who bought out. So of course, you have somewhat low pen for 457s. You have short fuse, so ships with heavy spaced armor, like thick spaced armor, like Vermont, Bourgogne, these kind of things. I mean, Bourgogne's hard to sit, but Vermont's a good example. Like, you can't sit Vermont at mid range. There's a lot of battleships you struggle to citadel, but of course, you shit on cruisers way more than normal. Then of course it has to have like demonic HE or in Lauria's case SAP. But like every other battleship we've looked at, of course the alternative, the non-AP ammo choice is retarded. Um, Perfect example there of Lauria's incredible plating that can shatter 77 mil pen, which is what I believe these HE shells are. 76, yeah. Yeah, you don't get Conch's like improved British HE pen, but you get you don't get Thunderer's improved pen of like 100 something. You get like the same pen as Conqueror, but you get same like fire chance of Thunderer. Low 60s fire chance, which is just fucking ridiculous. Um, you get speed, you get concealment, you get overmatch, you get a super heal, you get torpedoes that are incredibly brain damaged. You take no skill to use. Like, you would assume that would be a bad play going flat to Wisconsin. Nah, that's not a bad play, son. Nah, it'll be aight. Amazingly, it's the fucking Yomihari that citadels us. Um, so yeah, I mean, you don't want to take sits in the Vincent like that. You don't want to do that. The thing is, it's just so rare. Like, this is what I mean when I say this boat is the epitome of brain damage. It's spam HE. You don't have to show angle to torp. You have speed. You have health with the super heal, and then like 90% of the time making that turn, I would take no sits. Right? Like, I just wouldn't take a sit 9 out of 10 times making that play. This boat is just turn off your brain. Just turn the switch that powers your little fucking noodle off, because it is not necessary to play the Vincent. It'll help a little bit. I mean, like, I could have used my brain. Damn, this guy's gonna slow down. I could have used my brain to not take a citadel there, but like, oh no, I took a citadel. My max HP is 53k. If I did that in almost any other battleship, I would have blown the fuck up. So, this is the game design. It's like, we want ships to take damage, like Bungo, Vincent, Rhode Island. I mean, to some extent, Lauria when it kites. Like, you actually take more damage when you kite in Lauria. But like, we want anything but blowing up when you turn flat. And this is probably why the battleship player base loves this boat more than these other boats that maybe are just about as good. It's like, this is one of the most idiot-proof battleships in the entire fucking game. I mean, it's like, it's the game return idiot proofness of like a GK on steroids, because you're pretty low in the water overall and you don't really have a superstructure. So like, unless they get that unicorn citadel like that Yumihari did, which, and don't get me wrong, that is a unicorn citadel. That shit rarely fucking happens in this boat. But yeah, unless that happens, it's like, this boat is the most retard proof boat in the game. I mean, you can just be a complete fucking brain damaged idiot, and the odds of you blowing up in this ship are almost zero. The only real threat to it is torps, because the torp protection is dog shit. It's like maybe 23 or 24% torp protection. But like, is that where we're at? That, like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, this is where we're at. You're balanced because if you get nuked by torps, you can't repair. Like what? This is what it actually comes down to. I mean, fires don't matter in this ship. Flooding doesn't matter in this ship. Like CVs are annoying, but you also get like strangely good air detect. You get low 9 kilometer concealment air detect, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because like Incomp's in the tens and Lauria's in the tens. Like these other stealthy battleships actually have about a kilometer plus worse air detect than the Vincent does, which is interesting. Um, yeah, you have the superheal is not quite as good as Conks. It doesn't have 75% pen repair, but it does have 60. So it is like it's not just a super heal in the volume that you heal. It does heal 60. You know, battleships normally heal 50 pen. Um, and because like you almost never take a sit, right? So if you don't take sits or torps, then you know that 60% repair is like super good. Like if that guy didn't hit that one shell on me, that one that one citadel on me, we would be at like 60k max HP still, which is very good. But I mean, this is like the playstyle. At least this is my playstyle. I rush in. I hope that a cruiser or a battleship or something is being a fucking idiot and I can nuke him. Um, Sometimes you lose some health. Most of the time you don't. And then you play like slightly passive central position HE spam, and you wait for an opening. And that's what we're doing. We're just like waiting. Like we don't want to run in here because Commissar Conk have crossfire. But like, I mean, the fucking damage we're pumping out on this guy is just. It's just. This is. And this boat is not like an HE spammer. I mean, that's the thing is, like, you spam a lot of HE in it, but the AP is very good. Pushing in, especially with the AP, is very good. And it's just the lack of respect that you have to show almost any ship when you're in the St. Vincent is fucking crazy. Like so many. I mean, DD's try to rush you, right? You're vulnerable to torps, but like DD's trying to rush you. I mean, the HE is ridiculous. It has that British magical HE where it has like a plus 400% chance to perma break torps, as every torpo player knows. Where like a Vincent or a Conqueror or a Thunderer whiffs, like every single shell misses you, and then your Shima gets like one or two torp tubes permad from a miss. Yeah. And like the acceleration is crazy. Vincent has, to put this in perspective, you have like almost the same acceleration as Kleber. You're like your acceleration time to reach 90% power is like barely worse than the fucking Kleber. Um, yeah, it's interesting, and of course with Brisk, like you just fly around the map. Even I mean, because you have like a very high base speed, the engine boost isn't super good. It's only an 8% boost, just like in comp. So you go for like a little over 40 knots with Brisk active. Our team actually let this Wisconsin live to heal, and then he got his Confederate. Crazy. Um, but yeah, you fly around the map, you relocate, you're stealthy, and then you just kind of like spam, you farm damage and wait, and you're not going to take damage in return. Like, there is just no chance you die to HE spam in this boat. I mean, cold DCP gives you like 23-second DCP, which is brain damaged. Super heal is 42k a pop, which is brain damaged. And like, so they nerfed one of the two nerfs they gave Vincent. Yeah, we crushed this guy. I mean, like, the accuracy is totally fine. People cry about the Sigma being 1.6, but like, you have Battlecruiser Dispersion with 1.6 Sigma. It's not like Columbo's 1.6, guys. I mean, the accuracy is totally decent. I mean, I would say it feels like Montana, like Iowa accuracy. That's kind of what it feels like because you're significantly more accurate, but you have quite a decent amount worse to Sigma. I mean, it feels like Iowa. I don't think people cry about that too much. Um, but I mean, it's just. But anyway, they nerfed the concealment from low 12s to 13.1, which still gives you like by 2022 standards, based some of the best battleship concealment in the game, which is hilarious because like now all these newer boats have better concealment. But when Vincent came out, it was actually like basically the best or tied with the best. And then Incomp came out, of course. But yeah, it's just and this is kind of like why I almost don't enjoy this ship. Like, don't get me wrong, it's broken, it's busted as fuck. Like everything about it is way overtuned. You could pick like if you list the features of great HE, great torp, superheal, speed boost, invulnerable citadel. Like if you list all these features, you could just like randomly throw them in a bag and remove two of them, and this boat would be like maybe balanced, right? Like the HE's not great, and there's no speed boost. Still a great boat. There's no torps and and it's a normal heal. Still a great boat. There's no torps and no speed boost. Still a great boat. There's no torps and no good HE. Still a great boat. Like this is what I mean is like you can just randomly pick something to take away from this boat, two things, and you maybe start to approach a semblance of balance. And this is what I mean by you wait. We farmed a little bit of damage, and now the battleships are all on the same line, and we just the brain. I promise the brain has been toggled off. I have activated low IQ gaming mode, and we're just going to sprint at these guys because the speed boost is on, the super heal is ready, and we're just going to run at them because why the fuck not? Torps on both sides. On this kind of low HP, we're looking at like a 40-second torpedo reload per side. I mean, like this guy can't fight us. He has to kite out. Like he has to kite out and maybe let me slam him. He actually permas a turret on me, which is like actually insane. But yeah, that was a yeah. I mean, he gets slammed, but like if he had kept pushing in, we would have torped him. So he has to turn out. He doesn't really have a choice. He had to make that play really. And now that he had to turn out, we can just turn and run at the Loria. Yep, there we go. Over pens, he can't citadel me. You know, Loria is showing way too much angle. You got 30 degrees firing angles, my dude. You're showing 40. And the torps are already back. Like, he overmatches us. Doesn't fucking matter. This Loria doesn't have the best torp protection. We're probably gonna like 18k with the torp. Yeah, 17.5. Shell trap for 12, and we go down. I mean, won our team the game. Put both these battleships on crazy low HP. When we started this push, I think we were at like 130, 140k damage. So in a matter of under a minute, we basically take 80% of the HP away from two different battleships. I mean, and like, so here's the question that I have, okay? If the Vincent is that good at doing that, if this ship is that good with the torps, the speed, the super heal, the very solid AP at close range, if it's so good at running in and shitting on people, then why the fuck does it get this basically Thunderer HE? I mean, it doesn't have the pen, so like you can't Citadel super light cruisers with it, I guess. But like, why does it get all of these things? Like, dude, seriously, pick any two invulnerable citadel, speed boost, concealment, incredible HE, torpedoes. Of those five things, throw a fucking dart at a goddamn dartboard twice, and that's what you remove from the boat. You're like, oh, let's take the speed boost away. Oh, let's give it, say, 14-kilometer concealment. Does the boat suck? No. It's still fucking good. Like, I mean, Loria is a brokenly overpowered ship too, but it can't even do like some of the things that Vincent can do. I mean, at least if you go flat, you can take some fucking damage consistently. I mean, same thing with Incomp. I mean, Bungo doesn't get a super heal. The torps. I mean, like, The speed, it's like, why does this boat get everything? Why does it get everything you can think of? It gets everything that you could think of to give a battleship in a cocaine-fueled fucking fever dream board meeting that Wargaming has when they design these goddamn battleships. And then the only thing they didn't give it was armor. But they still kind of did give it armor. This game is like way closer than it should have been, but I mean, we're gonna win. Um, but like, why did they give it all of this shit? And yes, the one thing they didn't give it, you could argue, the armor's not great, but like, it's idiot proof. This armor is some of the most idiot proof fucking armor in the game. Like, I cannot think of another battleship that goes flat and takes less damage than Vincent. I would, like I said, I would argue GK actually takes more because the boat is so tall. Whereas Vincent's a lot shorter. There's no superstructure to clip into. Yeah, I mean, you bot out, you take nothing, you push in, and you don't really get sit through the nose, and you have improved 60% pen repair. So, like, if you push in nose in at full HP, and a battleship does, 50,000 damage to you, you heal back 30,000 of it, and you're back to 60,000 health right where you started. And I can't remember if I made my point because I lost my fucking train of thought, but one of the nerfs that they gave this ship, one of the nerfs that they gave it was now the heal takes 100 seconds. But here's the thing, Wargaming, you have improved repair party fucking readiness in the game, Wargaming. If you tank 2 mil potential in the Vincent, it's not just that you get another heal. You get extra value out of improved repair party readiness in the Vincent because the percentage off of 100 seconds is higher and it scales and you only have about 80,000 HP. So you start to tank any kind of damage in this ship and you run improve repair party readiness and you're down to like a low 80-second repair reload anyway. So did you even get fucking nerfed? Like, not really. Did we even nerf the heal cooldown? Not really. Because, I mean, you're going to have an 80-second... Like, the end of this game, I had an 80-second heal reload. It's fucking stupid. I don't know, like, it's amazing. It's fucking amazing to me. I was just on the subreddit today, and I'm arguing with multiple people who think that improved repair party readiness needs to be buffed, or it's not a skill you can quote-unquote afford on battleships, or it's not that great, or it's not that great on low HP boats. Like, you should not have to tank 2 million potential on a ship like Vincent because it has lower HP, and you should only have to tank like 20x the HP. So, no! No! Go to any ship in your port and look at your average potential in your battleship. I guarantee almost none of them are over 2 mil. So probably half of your games you don't get an extra heal. But you know what you do get if you're a low HP boat like the Vincent? You get extra value out of even like a 1.8 million potential tank game. This is this player base, okay? This is this player base. Like, I don't. All right, let's go back to the port. Let's settle down. Look at the armor, the captain spec a little bit. I mean, let's look at the kind of... This Wisconsin was like almost all HE. Like, just farmed the fucking dog shit out of him. This Loria, we did this kind of damage to him. What was it? Like 30 seconds? Conk, 30 seconds of damage? Hipper, one shot? All right. Let's go back to the port. All right, we are back in the port, and we can go over the build here. We'll start with the equipment. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it. If your DCP is 15 seconds base, we take this mod. Now, that was like, I can't lie. I have over 100 games in the Vincent. I've never lost a turret like that. So yeah, you could be like, haha, fucking retard, you should take a main armaments mod. Yeah, I mean, that game, we probably would have got an extra kill. Alright, I'll give it to you. But It's just this skill is just too demented. It's too demented to not take or this upgrade. A 23-second DC, like the difference between this and 15 seconds is fucking night and goddamn day. It's unreal. Like, and with the prevalence of subs in this game, man, like that being able to hit that when you've got to cross a gap. I've said okay. I don't need to say it again. Slot 2, obviously it's engine boost mod. I don't think there's like even a choice. Accuracy, there's not even a choice. You can make an argument in this slot. You could make an argument for steering gears. The turning circle is like not complete dog shit on the Vincent. It's not obviously good, but you would get like a what 13.5 or something, 13-second. But I mean, you could make a case. Yeah, kind of a preference thing. Um, Concealment and reload are kind of to me obvious because like one, Vincent has the funny 30-second turret traverse base, so there's no real downside to the turret traverse. Like some boats have such dog shit turret traverse. Like Yamato is so bad that I almost would take range over reload if it was those were my choices, range or reload, because it's just insane like how slow the turrets turn. But no, this boat came out in the last 2 years, so the turrets turn like a fucking. It's just like these turrets are like the size of my Shimakaze, right? Like they probably weigh as much as a Shimakaze does, and they just turn in 30 seconds base. It's just fucking crazy. Um, yeah, I'd say that's the build. I wouldn't change anything, but maybe this. You could change for steering gears. That's pretty valid. As far as the captain goes, there's probably a little bit of play here. Um, I, Shell Swap and Brisk are what you're going to take in slots 1 and 2. I mean, the turret traverse, like remember we're running reloads, we're nerfing our turret traverse by what 13%. We still turn in 34.5, like totally fine. We don't need grease the gears at all. Brisk is like this any boat, honest to God, any ship with 30-second turret traverse base, like why are you not taking Brisk on it? Because you don't fucking need grease the gears on it. Um, and then of course Adrenaline Rush, of course Fire. Listen, okay, it's got a super heal. You know, I just talked about how you don't die to fires, but you know why you don't die to fires in the Vincent? Because you build it fucking properly, and you don't take fucking Furious like a bot. Okay, like if your ability is tanking fires, you don't throw that ability out. Okay, so we're definitely taking fire prevention. We're definitely taking concealment. I would say this is where you could make a case. You could absolutely, I think, make a case to drop emergency repair expert because you get 3 heals in the Vincent base. Unlike Incomparable only gets 2 super heals base, and it's not quite enough. So you really kind of want this on the incomp. You could absolutely drop emergency repair expert on the Vincent. The question is what you would take, and if you did want to drop this, I actually think it would be somewhat valid to drop this for vigilance and the 2-point AA skill. Because if a carrier decides to fuck you, you do get fucked extremely hard. Your AA is not super great, even with DFAA. And especially if CVs go for you with torps, your torp protection is like pure dog shit. So like if you're on a rock tanking, you know, chilling, living your life, and a midway decides to drop you, you just like lose half your boat insta. And because you do have 3 super heals base, you can run improved repair party readiness. Cunningham gives you an extra heal if you get 2 kills. Um, I think that's actually like a very reasonable change would be dropping this for vigilance and a defense expert. I don't, partially because like this is objectively the correct build on Incomp, and I can have it trained for Vincent, you know, and I swap it back and forth, right? But if you don't care about that and you're just building a dedicated captain for Vincent, I would almost say dropping emergency repair for vigilance and AA is valid. But yeah, with that out of the way, we can look at the armor, the armor, the armor, the armor. With that out of the way, we can look at the armor. Yeah. Here you go. 40 millimeter deck. Not the greatest, not terrible though. 32 side, which I'm told by Reddit is an asset, by the way. Reddit people assure me that terrible casemate armor is actually an asset because, see, if you go flat broadside to people who can't aim, and they aim upper belt, they might overpen you. Yeah, because this player base actually values armor that doesn't work when you play properly, and kind of saves you when you play like a fucking idiot. But that's the state of this battleship player base. Yeah, it's pretty tragic. But we could take away the nose armor, and you can see the citadel. It's like this spaced, absurd fucking bullshit. I mean, yeah, yeah, that's the citadel, baby. Uh-huh. Yep. So like at close range, uh, the problem is in order to hit the citadel at close range, you have to fuse on the water, right? Because the citadel is like at or slightly below the water line. So at close range, any shield that has a shell that has a chance of hitting the citadel has to fuse on the water first, which like removes an insane amount of penetration and arms the fuse immediately. And the odds that it's going to hit the citadel is basically non-existent. And then that Yumahari, the reason he could citadel us in this video was the shell is kind of arced in, and they had like, but again, you can see like what I'm talking about, the unicorn angle. Like you're trying to snipe this little part of the citadel and clear the water, so like you've got to get shells in like a fucking nut hair of water line. Um, so yeah, you just go flat to people and you get the fuck away with it. Um, and like the 25 millimeter nose and ass, like is kind of annoying, but you also have to remember that like when you're flat, you're definitely just overpenning this. So, again, it's like it's brain damaged armor because 32 millimeter side is like objectively bad, but it's not bad when you bought the fuck out. 25 millimeter nose, 25 millimeter ass, objectively bad, but it's not bad when you bought the fuck out. It's only bad when you're like playing the boat like a non-chimp and you're fighting another battleship player who's not retarded. That dynamic is kind of suffering for the St. Vincent. So, like, the key when you play the St. Vincent is you've got to out stupid the smart players and you've got to outsmart the stupid players, okay? If this makes sense. Like, if you're fighting a guy who's a brain dead battleship monkey and he can't aim at a nose, right? The kind of guy who is in like a full HP Vermont and cries about 1v1ing a Petro. That guy, you just bought the fuck out against, or you play smart against him because he's never gonna click you for like 20k. But the guy who like actually knows how to aim, knows where to shoot you in the nose, knows to try to aim like right around here at longer range to arc and maybe get a citadel on you, like that guy, nah, dude, you just bought the fuck out against that guy. Don't play like that guy's intelligent. You gotta risk, yeah, you gotta play like a retard against smart players, and you gotta play smart against retards. Is the best way. So it's the dual dynamic of the St. Vincent. It's a very dynamic ship in that regard, right? Very, very dynamic, fun, and engaging gameplay. And I talked about the Bungo, about how like I almost don't enjoy it. And I kind of feel the same way about the Vincent. Like if you want my recommendation, the boat is absurd. Like it's excellent in randoms. It's fucking retarded in ranked. Um, Probably like almost objectively the best BB overall in ranked right now. It's hard to make a case for another. It's really hard to make a case for any BB other than Vincent in ranked, honestly. Um, I mean, I'm not saying play it all the time, but it is incredibly strong in ranked. It's very effective in clan battles with like a push strategy. There's a reason it was banned a bunch of seasons. So like yeah, a good ship you definitely want to have this ship in your port, like particularly for ranked. Um, Here's my issue, okay? Like in that game, I I don't want to damage farm the Vincent. I want to run in and abuse this boat's list of features to bully people. And when you do that, one of two things happens. In this video, what happens like normally is what happened in this video. You run in and you like just fucking massacre two battleships. And the only reason I went down is I started on low HP. Like if I had started that run on full HP, they never would have killed me. I would have killed them both. Yada yada yada. Right? So you get away with it, and you don't really like feel good about it because in the back of your brain you're like, that was bullshit. Like what were those guys supposed to do? I can go flat to them, and the best they can do is like 20k maybe on my broadside. And then they can't angle up to me because then I can torp them, and they can't go broadside because I can citadel them. I can citadel Kong. I can citadel Loria. They can't really citadel me back, and if they angle, I torp them. So you feel like a greasy piece of shit when it works, and then the only time it doesn't work is when like there's a sub, and you have no torp protection, right? Your torp protection's, yeah, it is 23%. Your torp protection's dog shit. And you make that play, and there's like a fucking AFK sub on the bottom of the goddamn ocean, and he pops up and shits 6 torps into you for 40k that's unhealable. And it doesn't work. But like, those are the only 2 times it happens. Like, it's not ever the case that there's a prolonged and engaging fight where you damage them and they damage you, and it's fair, and it feels like you had to work for it and outskill the enemy player. Like, no. No. You get murked by a fucking sub that you never knew existed, or you get away with it. And like neither of the, like obviously the sub is frustrating, but it's like not, it doesn't feel rewarding. Like when you push in a GK, or like think some of these old battleships that have been power crept, right? You push in your GK. If I had done that play in a GK and done that kind of damage, I would feel so fucking good about myself. I'd be like, man, I managed my turret traversing, I managed my angling, I hit my shots. Or it's like, no, in the Vincent, and like you just shit on people. And it doesn't feel like they really have a chance. I'm trying to think of a boat that has a chance 1v1 against this thing. Like, the only thing that really I can think of that actually does well against the St. Vincent is like a mid-range Vermont. Like, a Vermont slightly outside of Vincent torpedo range who knows how to aim will probably kill you because the Vermont has the fast cooldown heals, and if he knows how to aim, he just smokes you in the nose for like 20 to 30k every salvo. Like, man, there are just very, very, very few battleships that don't get heavily out-traded by a St. Vincent in a 1v1. Cruisers, haha! Cruiser players in 2024 trying to kill a St. Vincent. Oh, wow, dude. I fought a Petro the other day, and he just fucking evaporated. Maybe it was today, I can't remember. Oh, this boat is hilarious against cruisers. DD's like you're fast as fuck, so you're hard to torp. Yeah, the torps do a lot of damage because your torp belt sucks, but like, man, if you get spotted and the Vincent shoots you in the torp, like, just there go your torps. Probably permeating your torp tubes, shitting on you for like a 10k HE salvo. Uh, I hate every part of the design of this boat. Um, I just hate it. I don't like it's relaxing. Like you normally wouldn't consider when you think of relaxing ships, you might think like Slava Bungo, right? Okay, you sit back and snipe. But like the Vincent is relaxing because the outcome of the push, like I said, unless there's some random DD or sub AFK on your broadside, like the outcome is certain. The outcome is pre-ascertained before you begin the push. It's like, I'm going to go around the corner on that Ohio and that Des Moines, And I'm going to hit the Des Moines with a torp for 20k. I'm going to one-shot the Des Moines in the nose with overmatching AP that citadels the fuck out of him. I'm going to hit the Ohio with a torp. And if he angles up, I hit him with another torp and another torp and another torp and HE. And if he turns broadside, I smash him with AP. And if I turn broadside, he can't kill me. Like, you know what's going to fucking happen. So you don't feel like any risk. And you just like say fuck it and you go in. You just say fuck it, I'm going in. And you get away with it like 8 out of 10 times. And the times you don't get away with it, it's because of some bullshit like a sub. So you don't even feel like you got countered, right? Like you don't feel like I said, the Vermont kiting you at medium range, smashing your nose. That feels like, whoa, I'm getting countered. The weakness of my St. Vincent is actually being countered. But 9 out of 10 times when you run in, that's not what happens. You just get away with it for free, or some aids like a sub or a CV fucks you. And that's the Vincent experience. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, if you stayed here this long, that does kind of clean up the ridiculous crop of new battleships with the stealth speed, overmatch, and armor that we were trying to look at. I could look at like some leg mods or some comparisons of boats, like premiums and stuff. Or I might just jump into some ranty reviews on some of these deities, because my god, man, I'm telling you, dude, some of these fucking newer gunboats in the game, some of these destroyers in this game, man. Um, I've been on and on about the battleships, but I mean, lest you think that I think the other classes are fine. I mean, the state of gunboat destroyers in this game is fucking ridiculous. It's every bit as absurd as battleships, in my opinion, or very close. Um, so yeah, let me know if you're into that, or we can do some like more maybe non rage inducing reviews where we like compare some premiums to their tech trees, or maybe look at some legendary mods that are worth getting. Anyway, thank you for watching.